Hi, my name is Jerome Mills. I'm a sales engineer here at Net Foundry, and today I'll be going over a healthcare demo using our Zero Trust software. In this example of a traditional setup, we've got a couple hospitals here on the left-hand side, a remote administrator down at the bottom, all connecting to a centralized data server. That data server, after processing the data, offloads it to a backup location. The first challenge here is the time that it'll take for those VPNs to get stood up. You've got third-party timelines, back and forth configurations and validations. That can sometimes take weeks. Once everything is stood up, it now becomes a potential exploit vector throughout all of the networks, as there's now the availability for lateral movement. Having open ports means having another exposure point. Applications will create a TCP connection first, and then they'll authorize the client. This is an exposure for brute force attacks and the like. You can mitigate some of this using advanced firewall rules, ACLs, and all those different configurations can become unmanageable over time. And you can eventually potentially have exposed applications on the internet that shouldn't be. With a Net Foundry solution, all clients connect outbound via port 443. So there's no need for any configuration changes on the firewall. Everything is secure. Clients authorize first to the control panel using their identity, an X509 certificate, and then they're allowed to connect. In this example, I'll be doing an RDP connection to our backup site to show that the files are getting offloaded, as well as HL7 messages getting processed and sent to a Slack channel. I'll also log into the Mirth administrator application to show that the channels are indeed listening only on the local host. And afterwards, I'll log into our GUI, remove the attribute that allows the RDP connection, and we'll see how quickly it removes. Here we have the RDP connection. The first thing I'd like to point out is that mirth.rdp is not a fully qualified domain name. It's not a routable address. These intercepts fully obfuscate the destination address, adding another layer of security. I'm going to go ahead and start the simulator here. In a few seconds, we'll see some HL7 messages getting processed. The PDF file gets uploaded, and then we start to see that MRI file getting uploaded. That takes a little bit of time and is a pretty big file. Here in the Mirth admin panel, I go down into the channels, and select one. We see here in the source that it is only listening on the local host. This further locks down the application, so the traffic isn't even going into the local network. Now I'll go ahead and come in here into our UI and the identities, filter for mine. We see here these attributes that are allowing me access to the various services. I'll go ahead and remove the RDP attribute, select update, and here in the background, we'll see in a few seconds that this RDP connection will disconnect. This is because authorization is ongoing and continuous, and when there's that change, here we see that disconnection. With traditional setups, they take a lot of time. There's a lot of deployment issues that can happen. Setting up with us is a breeze because everything is outbound connection. Everything is that we have in the UI is available via an API, so it can be automated at scale. So it can automatically integrate into your CI and CD platforms. Because we're a software company, everything that we have has multiple deployment options. You just saw the host configuration that allows for that local host connection, but we also have a virtual machine that can be deployed in any of the popular clouds, as well as in your own data center. Thank you very much for your time.